Hello everyone, recently I got coached by pro player Fluffy HS. His Twitch and Twitter will be linked down in the description, so definitely go check him out over there. This video is very long and everything is timestamped in the description. First we go over a couple different topics and then we play 2 games that we go over. I have one question before we start, and it's
Absolutely.
what's your priority on a turn? Because last session you said that I should scout more, which I agree with. But part of it is if I'm scouting more, I have less time to think about my overall game plan. How do you balance that? Do you ever spend the whole time thinking about your game plan? And how important is it
I do it at the same time. I feel like when I've decided on a comp, or at least I have an idea of what I want to play or what I want to try to play, I already have the game plan in mind and I know how to approach it throughout every turn, pretty much for the most part. And then I have to adapt depending on what happens in the lobby, but for the most part I can just use my previous experience to know what I'm doing, and that leaves me more time to scout position, reroll level, stuff like that, plan all that. So the game plan itself is usually just already figured out.
Not necessarily that, but say, for example, you have you're in the mid game and you can buy I don't know, a NAR, but you lose eco over it and you're probably gonna sell it at the end of the mid game. Stuff to thinking about whether that unit should go in.
Oh, okay.
For example, that as opposed to spending the time scouting and optimizing your positioning. What's the balance in terms of that?
So I do something that I don't see a lot of people do, but some do. I'm not sure what to call it, but I scout really quickly. Basically, just spam clicking the scout buttons, or the counter clockwise and clockwise.
3 in 1.
Yeah, just to see small things and catch. If I'm looking for a blitzcrank, I'm looking for assassin or something, I'm just rapid scouting basically. If I see something out of the ordinary that I'm looking for, I'll just go back and look at that, and that saves me a lot of time because I do that as I'm thinking about stuff and planning my rounds and what I'm doing. Which it's a way I balance it. I think the way you balance that just comes from experience, honestly. But if you already have your game plan in mind and you know which comp you're playing, and then you want to potentially just play your strongest board, for example, you have to buy units that aren't optimal for your late game comp that you have to sell later. It depends on if you're really strong at that point, if you have to stabilize, if you have to keep a streak, even if it's a loss streak or a win streak. You have to take all that into account and look and know which turns in the future you're gonna spike or when you're gonna fall off and when you have to be stronger or weaker. Take that into account. So if you need that NAR to be strong in a couple turns, you should probably take it. If that's your play later on, probably take it as long as it doesn't cost you a lot of econ.
Yeah, it's and also for example, say you have the option to level to 6 on 3-2, but you're gonna go say below, you're gonna go down to 25 or something, and then you're I'm gonna be really broke. I don't know if I will get strong enough to win streak, and then you're thinking about that as opposed to scouting.
Basically, I think the meta right now, as long as you stay above 20 gold, I think you should always be 6 on 3-2, almost always. There are scenarios where you shouldn't, if you have nothing to add value at all, and then probably stay 5 into the econ. But if you have a unit you can play that makes you stronger in any way, you should probably play it on 3-2. It also gives you the better shops. A lot of these galaxies really reward you for having stronger shops. Stuff like Nicoverse and Trade Sector, for example, are really big because you get the free rerolls here, and if you high roll the unit you need in Nicoverse, you're pretty much set for top 4 if you hit it early. So in these galaxies, you can basically neglect your econ a little bit more and not really care about it too much. You still should care, but it's less important early game, I think. Late game, that's not necessarily true, but the way you approach your econ is a little bit different. For Nicoverse, pre-leveling to 5 is almost always correct, just because everyone is doing it now, and people double Nico every carry they see. Yeah. So if they see a Jinx, they see a Riven, anything, it's gonna be slammed instantly. And because of that meta, pre-leveling actually has a lot of value right now. I don't think it's correct for the most part, unless if you can make money. But in this galaxy, I think it almost always is at the moment. It's something I've been torn about, but Gunmay has told me he values it super high, and when I've done it, even if I don't hit the units I need, the off chance I do, I'm not sure I don't think it's correct, but it kind of works because of how the meta is and because everyone is doing it.
It might also be I don't know. When I like play, I usually don't level too aggressively in the early game unless I'm
I think
like
that's fine.
strong.
I think that's fine.
But
But you
also
have to
like because
balance
what I
your
see
econ.
is I usually the people who
Your
level
level.
aggressively in win streak they usually like get like top 2, and the people who
Yep.
level aggressively and like ping pong or whatever they don't streak they basically always go like 8th and
Yep.
7th. And
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
like
You should not
also
do
my
like.
own experience. So I
Yep.
just yeah I don't know.
Like you should definitely level if it makes sense to you. Like don't aggro level and roll just because people are doing it. I think the exception here is pre-leveling out to 5, even if you're
It's only
losing
Nico
sometimes.
verse where you would
Yeah, but it's not always correct still. Like
yeah
sometimes or most of the time it's not even correct. But like if you're somewhat strong, you have a little bit of money, you can pre-level. I think you should probably do it in this case, especially if you're streaking.
mm-hmm.
But if you have to make gold, you have to keep that loss streak.
Yeah I've done
Probably not correct. But
Okay.
like there are different scenarios where you shouldn't, obviously. But a lot of the time it is for Nicoverse specifically.
Yeah.
Other games, like in general, I don't think it is. I think econ is a lot more valuable. I think loose streaking is overpowered if you know how to do it correctly and also maintain your HP at the same time. Like not just open 40 and taking 40 damage the first stage, actually doing it and taking maybe 20 or 25 damage instead, staying above 70, 75. You can do that successfully and keep a 5 loss streak early game. You're going to be in a really good spot in terms of econ. And you can spike when you want to later on and control your game a lot more than you could if you leveled aggressively and hoping for high rolls.
At least on this patch, like a lot more people roll at 7. Like on the stage for carousel, like most people aren't even level 8 anymore.
Yeah, people just they roll on 7 so much right now, but that's because of the meta. People follow the meta like sheep, and when everyone is leveling, even if it's not correct and rolling, they do it. And when everyone is doing it, it's going to be really punishing if you're low rolling and not doing it.
Yeah,
so when people have those games and they don't know how to play behind, they're just going to follow. So when you see, like if you look at a lot of good players, I'm going to take an example from Mismatch Socks, for example. He lose streaks a lot, and he's really good at it.
Yeah,
because he maintains his HP and gold super high as when he's lose streaking for the most part, and he's really good at playing from behind. This also lets you get the better items from carousels, and you just can control your game a lot more. And I think he's probably one of the best, if not the best, at that currently. And it's really rewarding. And I think it's probably it's the correct way to play the game still, but it's gonna be a lot harder if you're not good at it.
Yeah, because a lot of people just because if you level aggressively in the early game and you don't streak, like you're just so broke. It's like unbelievably.
Yeah.
But also like looking at this, like I see that my star cluster placement is just absolutely abysmal compared to everything else.
Not sure what happened here.
Yeah, I don't really know like either, but there's something I'm doing wrong, probably.
Yeah, you should probably look like this is a good thing about this website. You could just, I mean, now you have it on level just as well, I guess, but specifically this is also really good. This is in the trade stats. It's really interesting. So like these are the ones you're doing the worst on.
Yeah, like what do you?
Nicoverse is just but this Galaxy it's really interesting stats, honestly.
Like, do you play? What do you think about like when you see Star Cluster? Because I'm like, okay, sometimes I like take a unit, or like if it costs because I can sell it for 8 gold. That's like the only thing I really.
So the way I look at it is, first carousel, I don't give a shit about anything. Like I just go for the item. Like,
yeah,
unless it's 6 with a tier or rod, I'm taking 6 with tier rod every time over everything. I do that in normal games as well, like every other Galaxy, because I just think 6 with Ludens is broken.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's absolutely stupid. And if you got 6-2 opener with the Ludens and like 2 brawlers, you're streaking, or at least not taking damage at all, because that kills so many units. And like it helps you throughout the entire game. But stage 2 carousel on Star Cluster is actually massive. So depending on what comp you're playing, and if you can manage to lose streak the first 3 rounds without taking much damage, and get a unit like, for example, if you get an Ari with a good item like a tier or rod off that carousel, or like pretty much any item, honestly, even like a sword or a bow on her, you're playing Sorks, you're trying to like, it's not great to have a sword or bow, but like an Ari too early, that can stabilize you so hard and let you save a lot of HP for a long time. Same goes for like a Kog'Maw too. With anything from like a belt, a vest, a bow, a tier, a cloak, a sword, anything on Kog'Maw basically works.
What do you think about
except for Rod?
What do you think about Darius? Because I almost never see him anymore. Like I used to always.
He is not great now. Not right now. He's not that great. He's okay in some scenarios, but he just gets stuck and doesn't kill stuff as easily right now, and there's also not too much or too many units that play off him really well. You have like early Sorks is fine if you have Darius 2 with like a Guardian Angel and like maybe an AP item. Like if GG is spark Darius too early with 2 Sorks, that'll destroy everything. But a lot of people are playing Brawlers right now, so you get stuck on those. So he's not that good of an early unit, and there's like no Space Jam anymore, so that removes the incentive of playing him.
Yeah, I'm talking more about like a early game, like this just 2 Space Pirates early game.
So I think it's fine if you have AP items as a placeholder, but you need to 2-star him. He's too squishy. He just dies. He gets 1 multi off. If he doesn't get the perfect reset, he just dies right now. You can't really fit like early Celestial anymore. For like, if you want to play him stage 3 as well, so it's a big investment. I think you can pick it up if you have like a 2 early Darius or like in Sword Cluster, for example. If you already have stuff that works with him, and you can just pick him up with a decent item that you need anyways, go for it. But it's not gonna be like the streaky thing that give you like get 3 in stage or in set 3. You could pick a Darius here and just streak. It's not the case anymore. He's still definitely a stronger unit than he was, but he works worse in the meta, and yeah. He's fine though. Okay, let's not ramble too much about this and probably get into the game before we waste a lot of time. GP's at 248 this split or season. Good.
Alright, so now I usually always go for Sword because I find it's fairly uncontested, except for this game.
I think Sword is fine.
Yeah.
If you're trying to play Cyber Jinx, it's definitely fine.
Yeah. I would prefer to start Glove, but there's always like 2 to 3 people going for it, so I can get a Sword start like pretty consistently. So.
Okay. I think just for Jinx in general, you don't want to get gloves at all.
Okay.
Only Last Whisper is an item on Jinx, and that's very niche scenarios. The Infinity Edge is really bad on Jinx compared to all the other items.
Okay. You don't like IE Last Whisper Jinx?
I think like Last Whisper is fine. Like if you need armor shot, but Infinity Edge doesn't help you at all. It doesn't help her reset, and it barely helps her after she ults. Her ulti damage is already high enough. You just need the reset, so like red buff GS is really good. Hurricane's decent, RFC's good in a lot of matchups, stuff like that. But you always need to take it if you have nothing else, right? You hit Jinx, you would take it, but it's not something you would go for. So if you're trying to play Jinx, you probably should avoid Glove. Glove is a great start for Cyber, though.
Okay. The thing is, like, Saya kind of feels like really bad this patch. So I don't even pick her up in the early game anymore.
You probably shouldn't.
Yeah, no.
She's not great.
I'm gonna sell the Caitlyn because I want this to be Spark most likely, and I want I'm a frontliner.
Makes sense. Wait, your items are insane.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to note, if you didn't already notice, Super Dance, because I usually forget what Galaxy it is if it's this one sometimes.
Okay, so I'm thinking 2 Vanguard frontline.
Yep.
Already.
Quick thing, like it's not massive, but it could be big used for future games. In this spot where you could get, so you're getting gold 100%, you should keep the Jarvan on the bench and wait for gold before you sell it.
Yeah, that's true. But he just, I just never play him in the early game.
Okay, sure.
But he's getting buffed, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's also okay right now, and also you have Mordekaiser's at Sark Star, so it's okay to keep for a small thing.
Probably 6 is the best one. I don't know. I guess I could have considered like Jarvan 2/6, but I don't think that's better.
So I think the Jarvan 2 is better. Not better than Sigs, but I think there's another thing you can play here.
This guy, I mean?
No. I think you should probably buy the Jarvan 2 though.
Okay. Probably sell. If I want to sell her, or actually I'll get gold here, so it's fine. I think I would have sold her because I already have the 2 vanguards, probably. This. Like in this situation, when like my whole board is 1 stars, I would generally wouldn't level because like this guy is super strong. This guy's like fairly strong. This guy's weak. Like this guy's pretty strong. So I don't think I don't think I'm win streaking. Like even if I level here, so I think I probably want Caitlyn over Zoe because I don't have. I only want Zoe if I get Ari, but I can't really like count on getting her.
No. So what's your thought about what are you looking to play here? What's going through your mind right away?
I think like Sorks could be open because my items are pretty good. Like Rebels, these items on like a potential GP.
Yep.
I think those are the main 2 I'm looking at right now.
Makes sense. I think there's merit considering the Poppy pair or the Zoe pair over something like the Graves currently though. Because I just want to point out, like, it's not huge, but you don't have blaster items anyways. Just tell me if I'm talking too much. I feel like I want to add something.
Yeah, I think that's more the stuff that I'm looking to improve on, like small stuff like that. Okay. Definitely want to make 10 here.
Yep.
And I want this Caitlyn pair, I want the Poppy pair, definitely sell these. I think probably do something like that for now.
Yep.
Then, like right now, I basically kind of have to make, I think I'm selling these, and then I will probably sell a Zoe if I lose, but it looks like I'm going to win this, so.
Yeah, you're going to win. So I think there's merit in keeping both the Caitlyn and the Zoe. I think the Jinx is obvious, or the Six is stronger than the Caitlyn currently, but because you have the Twisted Fate, selling Sigs and making yourself weaker could be better because of Chrono, but right now it's definitely weaker to keep the Caitlyn. And I think keeping the Sork pair is probably correct because you have the Poppy, right? And if you happen to play Ari, that'd be really nice to have the Star Guardian from Zoe, Poppy, Ari. So I like what you did here. It's fine.
All right. So I think that what I take here is mostly probably going to take the Master Yi or the Rumble, but I gotta take it.
I think it's definitely Rumble 100% of the time.
Yeah.
2 or 3 reasons. One is Sork, and Tyr is pretty needed in Sorks. Rumble is really good with Sigs, so it'll be a good level 5 play here. And Tyr is really good on Sigs, even if you're playing Rebels, like making loot on Sigs helps you reset and stuff like that. Holy, is that Jace 2, Vayne 2 on 2-5?
Yeah.
Did you play that guy already?
No, I think I played like a bunch of weak people, so right here I wouldn't level, because I think I just high-rolled matchups.
I completely agree. And you also have a nice 20 gold.
I don't know. I think that I can probably go on the Jarvan.
Sure. It's probably Mordekaiser if you just want to be stronger right away, because it'll make sure he ultis a lot more. If you're against someone strong like this.
Only my reasoning is
he
at
would
least that
survive here before the
Mordekaiser is probably going to stay in my mid-game comp, but Jarvan might not.
Absolutely, that's still fine.
That's smart.
Yeah, for immediate strength, belt on Mordekaiser is better, but your point is completely valid.
There's the Ari as well. I don't think 3-star Guardians is the play here, but I think this should happen. And is it ever? Fuck.
It's just Jace over Poppy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're not playing the Star Guardian anyways right now. You just keep the Poppy on the bench, and you just put it in Jace. If you're saying 4. Actually win these. Yeah, you do. Nice. Wait, do you? Should. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a bit too greedy to sell.
Pre-level, by the way.
Pre-level?
Probably pre-level.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no, it's too late. It's fine, but the recent bidders, you can't make 30 anyways. You get the better rolls. But if you got rewarded here for not pre-leveling, because you got hit the 1 cost, so which is likely on this level. But I think you should pre-level there most of the time. I just wanted to sell it because it's actually really big and it could be game changing potentially in that spot.
I prefer selling Jarvan over 6 if I want to make 30 here. So I think I'm fine with selling these if I don't get any gold.
That's fine. Good stuff.
It's Morello. This is probably better, and second Jace probably. I think this might just be my board, and then like this is, for example, a turn where like what I was talking about earlier, like thinking about what I'm going to play versus scouting, because here I didn't have time to scout, so I think this is something we should.
That's fine. So there are a couple things here that I kind of want to point out. The Ahri was fine where she was. I think that was a better position. There's also a stronger board. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it was a stronger board. Yeah. Or potentially, it's right. It depends on the matchup, like who you're playing and stuff. Yeah.
I want to jam Morello, but I think that she probably goes in over. Actually, no, I'll level here. I'll just Morello him. I really want it on Victor, and I don't want it on Sig, so.
Sure. So I'll tell you right now as well. There's again still a stronger board, and I don't think you should make Morello here.
Okay.
And I'll go over why later.
Yeah. So right now I'm also thinking about like next turn I'm definitely gonna scout more to see what people are playing, because this is looking like a Sork's game.
Yeah.
So this guy's like some Rebel Jinx stuff probably, Cybers. Rebels or Cybers? Rebels, Cybers, Sorks. Some
unknown stuff.
Some random
Could be anything.
Okay, so I think
a better board that you should play. Do you want me to tell you?
I think it's probably this.
Yeah, just cut Sigs for 4 Sork and you sell Sigs and Nico for money. That's a lot better, especially since you lost the last one.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like 6 is a good unit, but 4 Sork is huge, especially when you're running double Jace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you have a lot of AP on him, so it's just gonna keep adding up, right?
Okay, so I probably won't Rod tier Prio here. If I don't get those, if I don't get those, I'd probably go for gold.
Sure. So I think Riven is really attractive here. She, even if she has a belt.
Yeah, you'd like sell her once you get another Riven?
Potentially, or just play her with like a Trap Claw or Warmogs.
Okay.
and look to make a stronger Victor. I think it's fine. It's just nice, but I think Tier's the best. I think Tier, and because you committed the Morello, the Tier's really good because Victor needs 2 mana items, or at least like a blue buff, but at least 2 Tier items to be strong.
Okay.
Or to be really strong. Also, playing Ziggs over the second Jace is also fine if you want to. Like, it's both.
I think I'm lacking frontline though.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
That's
why I think this is. Yeah, I agree with this right now. I think it's like an option though that you should keep in mind. The reason I told you to tell him earlier is to make the money. I think here, because you probably make the money either way. I think you're strong enough to win. So, not against this guy maybe, but against a lot of people. Well, maybe you do. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I also wouldn't level here because I feel like
no, yeah, definitely not.
Too,
you lost 2 rounds as well. You would be like 20 gold, 22 left. So 6 sword, you're probably full send. Let's go.
Yeah.
I really like the tier on the Jace, by the way. Good stuff. So even if you combine, it pops off. I mean, this is huge. Actually, so big to win this one.
Yep.
Not only is it HP saved, it's also the 2 straight gold, which is a lot better than nothing. It's a free roll. You basically got. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm gonna grab a sweater.
All right, that's fine. Oh god. There's 2 brawlers in for some of our frontline. Seraphs, I think.
Sure.
I would like to have it on Victor, but I think putting on. I don't know. The thing is, I'm like right now. I'm looking to.
Do you want me to
level on 4?
tell you here? Yeah.
I would prefer. I think I prefer. I'm just gonna put it on Syndra for now.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure at all. I don't know. I guess what would you do? Would you put?
I would definitely not put on Syndra. Absolutely not. Victor is super important in this comp, and since you made the Morello, you have to go for Victor as your main carry. You don't have any extra mods for a Riven, so you looking at your health and econ, you're definitely going 8, like you said, on 4-3. You're not wrong before that. And Syndra as a unit is just strong enough without the blue buff right now. Obviously, it would be better, but it's not big enough to where it would be worth it for you to have to remake Syndra, basically.
Okay.
Also, there's a stronger board here.
We can do this though for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I should have done this as well, I guess.
Yep. Good item choices here.
I guess
there's a stronger board though. Way stronger board.
It's probably for Vanguard, I think.
Yeah. Yep. And blue one of the things, or do that. Yeah. Is that a Soraka too? That is a Soraka. 0 gold though. It's the first time I see blue buff Nautilus in play. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Do you have Zoe 2 already? You do, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I guess I could be. I don't think I ever would like fast 9 here, because there's not like a big like legend, like the
lobby is pretty weak though, so it's yeah.
I don't know. I think I should at least. Go a little bit here.
Sure. So I'll tell you right away, you rolled way too much here.
Okay.
You went way too deep. When you hit the 2 Sorks, just playing 6 Sork is big enough spike. You also hit the Victor, which you can use the items on. At this point, when you haven't found the Riven, and you already hit your units with like 20 or something gold left, you could have easily just played that with a Jace frontline here, because you have Jace 2 with strong items.
Okay.
This is like a punting game, because you were on the right track where you were talking about not or potentially looking to fast 9. Obviously, you probably can't do it with the board you have right now, but you can probably go 9 like very reliably from this point, just because you have a lot of gold and a lot of health, and the lobby strength is pretty low.
Okay. Let's take this. It's a bit more gold.
Sure. Yep, sure. Glove is pretty good in this comp. Shroud is good for rare matchup. It's really good in other stuff. Thieves Gloves is fine on a random unit.
I guess like if it wasn't
Couple things.
Okay. Let me just.
So just got to ask you, can you play something better than Leona 1 here?
Probably. I think wait, Karma is probably the best actually.
Karma's the best unit, yeah. You Karma buff the Victor or Seraph. In this case Victor because of the items.
Also get 2 Dark
multi more times. Yeah, exactly. It just helps a little bit too. It's not massive because your Dark Sword's a level 1, but it would do something. And Leona 1 doesn't do anything at all.
Yeah, that's true.
At the stage of the game. Even if she has 2 Vanguard buff. If it was Leona 2, it's better, but...
Oh wait, hold up. She must be like here.
So there are 2 frontline suffers.
Yeah.
So the way you're doing it now is you're not protecting your backline, you're just trying not to get suffered. What you should instead do is probably use this Ahri as suffer block.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Just move it up in the middle, because they had like their suffers pretty static the entire game. They haven't really moved it. And then also you should consider buffing the Victor with Karma, and then just giving
Not Sarah?
Yeah, you don't know, because this Victor casting is like what wins you rounds here. So you would basically just swap Victor and Zarath here, and then you also get the shield buff. Like the shield gets stronger from the Chalice.
Okay.
Onto Karma.
So essentially,
you get more
like this would be.
Yeah,
like my
basically this, and
she
then
would go wherever she needs to.
Yeah, I would probably lean the Jace towards the right side as well, because your carry star on that side, and he's got the GA, so he would be like give more protection.
Mostly that the one Zephyr is something.
Probably one left from this. Probably one more left from this. But yeah, something like that.
The only thing is like Zephyr hits like one of these 2 squares.
Sure.
That's
Yeah, you would
on
just
that.
look at that like before the runs on the people that are used that have the frontline Zephyrs, and then just move the Ahri accordingly. That's pretty bad. Oof.
Okay, so I would roll for a Riven again here.
Wait, before you do, scout, see how many are at the pool. Because you've already seen the Riven player, and then there's like another guy with the Riven too. 2 other guys.
Riven.
So there are 9 Rivens out the pool. There's no way in hell you're rolling for Riven here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you that straight up, because there are 3 Rivens in the pool, and you need Riven 2 for it to make some or do something at this stage of the game. What you can do is look up what people actually had Riven and see if they're low and dying. If they are, then you try to just wait and then roll and see if they're dying really soon. This guy, for example, is pretty low, but he's got ASL 2, so he's not dying anytime soon.
Okay.
ASL 2 Jinx 2, Riven 2. Yeah, he's not.
So then I think my out is like GP.
Yes. So you probably roll, but you want to just make sure you know what you're rolling for.
Okay.
And also I just didn't, better than copy for the chrono buff here.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that so you know what you're rolling for and you're not expecting to hit Riven here.
I should probably pick up Fizz.
Yeah, he's a really strong addition to your team.
Janna. I guess he goes in. I think.
Yeah, just give it to anything. Doesn't really matter. I would give it to something you want to just ult faster because you get the bow for faster mana gain, right?
So would you consider just straight up putting it on Xerath?
Probably, yeah. Because he also benefits from the attack speed.
Okay.
Yeah, Fizz is a really good unit in Zorks. His ulti just does a lot of damage.
So my board is probably.
For now, it's probably
Fizz when I hit a 2-star.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just fodder something else.
I don't think I can. I want this in as well. Like I said,
currently this is better. Yes.
This okay.
Yeah.
Suffering here. He's also suffering here when he swaps.
So I think when you're leaning everything this far to the right, you're not actually protecting anything. You're gonna give aggro to your backline here. So even though you're dodging Zephyr, you're dodging it in a way where it just kind of hurts you. So you just want to put the you still want stuff in the front and just make sure your Jace is not getting Zephyred or Wukong. So you would just swap it with the Ahri instead of moving everything away from your backline. So you're not protecting anything currently from the left side.
I'm thinking just taking this so I can get Xerath 2-star. Definitely now when the Victor got taken.
I think there's potentially a better choice or two maybe even better things, and that would be Giant Slayer and potentially the Aesol. Aesol's not amazing this lobby. It's good into the Sork player, but you already beat him and he might have even died. The Seraph is fine. It's a little bit risky because you can't really. It doesn't really do much until you 2-star him. But if you do, it's. Oh wait, you had a 2-star.
Yeah,
stupid. Okay, it's definitely right. Yeah, sorry, I missed the fact you had one on bench as well.
Okay.
That's definitely correct then. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely correct.
So I'd probably sit now because I got Xerath 2-star.
Yep.
Probably do this now.
Yep. Sure.
I already.
No, Janna. Sorry, I just want to tell you, Janna is way better. It's way more attack speed than Karma.
Suffering like here. That.
In this case, you would probably want something more to the right, like Wukong. Keep the other two where they are, and then Wukong to the right. Just because your Seraph is your main carry, and he's leaning this side. And also, there was Snor's kind of scary.
Oh, he just didn't.
Yeah, he was too late.
You got to roll now.
Consider selling something for Recon here.
There she is. Goes in over this probably.
Sure. Need some fodder though.
I think I just moved it back into the Zephyr spot where. Okay.
Maybe. Your Seraph is really vulnerable in the middle though. You generally want him towards the side. Stuff like this Fist would kill him too fast. Yeah, you're dead here. 1 second too late. Would have gotten 5th. Alright. There's a lot of things to look at in this game that are
not
really
super comfortable with Sorks either, but
that's fine.
Still
so good to play and learn. So a lot of the things that I caught up on, like late game, is mostly going to be positioning.
This
and the early game, there are a couple of key decisions I think that are
okay.
Pretty big. Because like when you're playing something like in this case the Seraph as your carry, you need to make sure he's not getting killed. And you need to make him as safe as possible every single round. Because you didn't have Victor too. If you had another Victor, like if you find a second Victor, you would swap items to Seraph. By the way, you would give blue buff to Janna, and you would just play the other thing on Seraph, probably.
Okay.
Because if Janna ultis, Seraph gets so much stronger, and it's not even funny. He goes from like being decent to incredibly strong. I think also you should have kept that Karma on bench, and not sell it, because if you get Karma 2 before you have Janna 2 or any items on Janna, I think it might be better because it gives the attack speed a lot quicker. You also get the Dark Star buff.
Okay.
I think for a 1-star, I think the Janna has a lot more potential power. Okay, let me screen share real quick. You can go over the game. But yeah, I covered the part about the glove. I'm not too big of a fan of it. Unless you're trying to force cybers.
It's only good for cybers. If I'm like flexing
as a start, yes.
If I'm flexing cybers, Jinx, mostly sword is.
Then you go for sword. Yeah, you go for sword. If you're flexing those 2 comps specifically, or you go for vest, because you can still use red buff in both comps. I think vest is the most flexible item by far, because it makes you GA for Riven, it makes you Bramble and Titans for mech, it makes you red buff for Jinx, or cyber. You can put it on Lucian or Echo. It's just a super flexible item that you can play in every comp. So I think that's like, if you're trying to flex many things as possible, vest, or if you're trying to play rebels like solely, then you go for vest. I think if you're trying to flex Jinx cybers, probably sword. Glove is fine if you want to play cybers entirely, or like mostly cybers. I think tier is super good right now if you like rebels, Sork. And,
I don't know. I watched the
potentially
that Korean guy that hit rank 1 in NA, and he talked like how good, just how broken Ludens is and why.
I've been saying the same thing as well. I think the item is completely bonkers. I don't think it's an item you make in Sorks, because I value blue buff too high, and I value Deathcap Spark too high, in that comp specifically. But I think it's just a really strong starting item. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and it's just really powerful. This round, I think it's perfectly fine selling this Caitlyn. I would do it myself, especially after seeing the Spark drop.
Yeah, I would probably pick up the Sire next patch, because she's getting I don't know, because she's getting a buff, so she might actually be like
so
a good...
It depends if like the items if she uses the items, or potential, if she's a good item holder basically. So like she would hold cyber items well, right? But since you're using Vayne, you're finding her really early. Unless you have like an early Saya too, you're probably not ever going to play it. Unless Shredder becomes a thing again.
I have actually played Shredder on Trade Sector, and
it's not
really well.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
It's only good because
But yeah, it's pretty unreliable to reroll though, because of the fact that no one else is rerolling. So hitting your units is gonna be harder because no one's like emptying the pool for you.
Yeah, I have only played it like 3 times, but I've gotten like 2 firsts and a third. So
like it's absolutely valid. I think the 6-Blade Master Saya Shredder comp is better though than the old one. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but it's been looking better when I've seen it.
Yeah, because instead of adding in Cassidon, I put in Sin, and then I put Urgot in at level 9 for like for Protector for Celestial. So
okay, we can. Okay, so the thing I was talking about here is definitely pick up Jarvan. I would consider leveling here because your items are so good, and these items on Mordekaiser this early is gonna beat a lot of things if you have Darkstar buff, because it gives you get 8 AP and AD from each unit when it dies. You also get the attack speed from Jarvan, and you have incredibly strong items on Mordekaiser. So this could actually probably streak you. You ended up losing here still, and you probably would have still lost here because you didn't get... or you could have probably won with stronger boards, but I would have considered just buying Jarvan here, selling for 4 gold and leveling. Putting Jarvan in with Sigs and 2 Vanguard.
Okay, because when I look at my board, I guess my items are really good, but like my whole board is 1-star, and I have like a random Sig, so I don't really consider this board strong necessarily.
It is not like really strong, but I think it's strong enough to where it merits a level. Because Sigs on its own is a decent unit. Like if you had a Sigs or an Ari here, either one I think are fine.
Because I think like if I had an Ari like for 3-star Guardian with this board, I would always level because that's gonna streak. But random Sigs ones, I just feel like this is not gonna.
Sigs does a lot of damage on 1-star, even without AP. And then if you get the Jarvan buff in, you get a lot of attack speed. You buff your Mordekaiser a lot when units die. Especially when you have these squishy units that are going to die, and Mordekaiser will be the left one standing with the Guardian Angel a lot of the time. So you just benefit a lot from that.
I think here I scouted and I saw like this guy was... I don't think I would ever beat this guy. This guy is also too strong.
You actually beat some of these. It depends on positioning, I think, for the most part. I think your position here is fine, though. I would consider like moving Mordekaiser up here, playing maybe Sigs here, and something similar to this, or just play this. Maybe swap sides, depending on...
yeah, I just saw like all of them had their infiltrators in the middle, so they would all focus Mordekaiser, so
yep.
I thought this was fine. And also here, like, I have a lot of pairs, so I think I value keeping the pairs rather than like selling to...
Sure, but the pairs you're keeping, like some of them, so the TF and the Zoe makes sense. The Illaoi and the Graves don't. The Caitlyn's kind of iffy as well. Not really too important here. So like selling Illaoi, Graves, and Caitlyn here for a level again is fine.
But you would never sell for 10 here ever, would you?
I would never sell for 10 here, no. You have way too many good pairs that you can play.
Okay.
So the times I sell for 10 and just give up on my board and I just take 40 until Krugs is when I'm so weak and the lobby's so strong that I can't win either way. I'll just make money and then come back.
Yeah.
And just make sure I get the lose streak. That's usually what I do in that scenario. Is I think once you have this, you moved your units up as well, I think, and I think that was correct. Because of this GA spark, you really want to be closer to stuff with the Mordekaiser.
Okay.
And just get him in there as soon as possible. And you're not protecting, like, if it was a Sigs 2, I would consider like the position you had earlier as well. If there are a lot of assassins, just protect them a lot more. But this is still fine because after this, one of them goes on Mordekaiser, and I think the other goes on Sigs.
When you have a melee unit in like the back row, they always focus it. Like, so.
It's really good. I like the positioning a lot. The one you have now, so I do this a lot. And the sell for 10 here, I think it's correct as well. This is like a scenario I would never, ever pre-level.
Yeah, I think
even
I almost never.
Yeah, I think it's if you do it here, you're trolling. That's my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, we talked.
So
about
this
it
like you have the 10
time,
gold. Yeah.
Pre-leveling to sacrifice econ. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, never. What tends to happen on trade sector is that you don't actually have the 10 gold. You just have a lot of units to pick up, so you can just pre-level anyways, and then you also get the free rolls. So it has a lot more value.
Yeah. Also, I like
your odds go up of hitting something.
What I have like a general rule that I try to follow is to always have 10 gold on 2-3. Like it's very rarely that I don't have that unless I have like 3
That's
2
a good
stars.
rule.
Yeah.
That's a good rule. There's also merit to pick this Ari here, just to get the Ari.
Okay. It's worth sacrificing 1 gold.
Yeah, if you want to make sure you have the strongest board possible next turn.
Okay.
Because you have 3 wins already, so you're leveling here every time. If you try to streak, but then you look at you didn't hit anything, and when you hit that Jace and the Vayne, you don't level.
Yeah, I haven't played him yet.
Yeah, you shouldn't level when you see this happening, but like your thought before this should be, I'm trying to streak because you're pretty strong, and you have a lot of pairs, so you're probably hitting something, but you ended up not hitting, and people hit really strong stuff, so then you just accept the fact that you're not going to streak it, just take the 20 gold. But your mindset going into this round is probably, I'm going to level here and keep the streak if you can, because you have a really strong board.
Yeah,
and if you hit these pairs, you're really strong.
Whenever
if you look at this guy, for example, he's got the fucking Mordekaiser 2, Ludens and Lucian and Cybers in with Vayne and Blaster and stuff. He's really strong.
That wasn't even the Jace 2 guy.
Exactly, that wasn't even the Jace 2 Vayne 2 guy.
Yeah.
So after seeing these upgrades and how strong people became, not leveling is absolutely correct. But your mindset should probably be, I'm gonna try to streak here if I can. So I'm gonna have the mindset of
also on this turn you told me to pre-level, but the reason why I don't, or at least why I haven't pre-leveled here is because if I get dropped a lot of gold, I can often make 40 gold on the Crux round, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I pre-level here.
Yeah, so I think being level 4 or like not being 5 on Krugs or after is only if you're like loose streaking fully and you need to make all the money you can. You're strong enough here to where you don't need to like worry too much about making 40 or 50 gold here to come back, because you have a lot of pairs. You're probably gonna hit these easily.
Because I'm still
you don't need that much gold to find them all.
I'm still missing Sigs 2, Poppy 2, TF 2, Zoe 2, all 1-stars.
But you're probably gonna hit them anyways. You're like not being 5 at that point. It's just you're losing a lot of free rolls on 5, and 3 stars are really strong. Like you would rather hit Jace 2 than hit like almost all these pairs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or like hit an Ari or Lucky Riven or Lucky Victor, you know. Like, but you want the better odds on those kind of units. The odds on Ari are still the same, but I think the pre-level, because you have the 4 gold left, you get the pre-level, you get the free roll on 5, I think is correct.
So you value like even
Because
though
you don't lose interest on it. You could potentially lose interest if you go gold here, but you don't get that much gold often from Krugs, I feel like.
because it's only like if it goes from 0 to 5 on 4 cost and like from 15
Mhm.
to 20, but it goes down from 55 to 40 on 1 cost. So it's essentially like a minus 5%.
Sure,
Of what you
but
want.
at this point, hitting stuff like Sigs is not as important anymore.
Okay.
He's gonna start to fall off. Hitting stuff like Zoe is not important. She doesn't do anything. She just stuns. TF is pretty big. I can get behind that. Ari is pretty big, but Ari's odds are still the same. The pre-level's worth a lot more in the current meta. If it was a slower meta than it's been before, like when it's all about econ, then absolutely. But the meta right now is too fast. Always it's a lot slower on this elo. It is actually so different.
But can I ask here why you wouldn't make Morello?
Oh, because if I'm trying to play Riven, I'm not making Morello ever.
Ever?
Okay. No, you always want
it's just not
Death Cap.
It's just not a good
Death
item
Cap, and it's okay, but all you want on Victor is mana. You just want mana on Victor, and then like Spark, Death Cap, and defensive item Riven, either GA or QSS.
Okay.
Worst case like Trap Claw. Riven gets like
yeah,
twice or 3 times as strong with Death Cap.
I guess I just forgot about the decap. How good
it is so big on Riven. And like looking at your board right now with the Spark GA, you're trying to play Riven if you can. It got taken, unfortunately. You couldn't play it, but
so you would just and here you would just play TF over the
I would play Force Orc.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I guess it was a little bit nervous as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's probably
like I would just give him a rod and then just leave it.
Yeah, Morello isn't.
That also opens up belt because when you play Riven, stacking any with like your suboptimal tank items that you get, stuff like a CC Rod or like a Warmogs or Thieves Gloves on any, just to give more frontline to your team is really good. Annie's a really strong unit in this comp. It buys a lot of time. If she ultis, she's buying a lot of time for you.
Yeah, that's true.
As you see, this Annie both did a lot of damage and bought a lot of time. Because it ulted once and Annie won, right? Imagine that had more, had a belt or something, it would ulti every time at the stage, probably.
Okay.
So I value stuff on Annie pretty high. Not like I would go for items, but she holds leftover stuff that doesn't go on Victor a lot of the time. But yeah, your scouting's a lot better. Like overall, that's something I caught up on, or picked up on quickly. Like your scouting's a lot better. Some things, I think.
Yeah, I guess like looking back at it now, I don't understand why I was even thinking about Morello if I was playing Sorks.
Yeah, because it doesn't really help you.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was just.
It's not a high priority. If you're playing like Victor carry in mech, then Morello has a lot more merit. But you're not gonna try to play mech with these items. You would go for stuff like Bramble and QSS instead of GA Spark. Like you would prioritize those higher. I think Spark's still really good, but you really want QSS and Bramble. They're really strong. Titans is also really, really good than mech. You don't really have items for that. You're leaning more Riven items, so I would keep it like towards that plan.
Yeah. So basically. Here I said my priority was Rod tier and then just go for gold.
Yeah.
But what were your speak? And you talked about how good Riven would be here.
Yeah, because she's such a contested unit. It's kind of like Jinx. It's fine picking her up here, I think.
Okay.
It's a really good pickup. Like if you're not getting the tier that you wanted. I think the tier, because you made after making Morello, I think it's always tier. If you didn't make Morello and you didn't get this rod, I would take Riven.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
But you ended up not hitting another Riven the entire game, so if you took this, you would have been hard stuck Riven 1 anyway, so with perfect hindsight, it wouldn't help you at all.
Yeah.
Unless you went to 0 on 7, which I think is incorrect. If you're playing this comp, especially when you're healthy, you should have definitely went past 8 like you did, but you did roll a lot. Or too much.
Yeah, I think that, okay.
Also, good tier on Jace here. I like it a lot. It's either Jace or Poppy, but I like the Jace because you pop it off if you combine them, so. Yeah, your positioning is fine. You should consider moving sides though, so you get closer to stuff like that Vayne in the backline. You do move into the Jace though, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, I also saw that like
you should consider like moving sides more and like
I don't.
changing up your positioning a bit. Maybe changing your fodder units. Like here,
Yeah, I would
you're
have moved
protecting your Twisted Fate
yeah.
instead of your Zoe.
I should have moved the Syndra and TF. That's the main
Yeah.
thing. And also, yeah, I don't really. I tried like doing the notepad thing where you track who you played, but I find I
Okay.
just not. I don't get enough
No.
time to do like anything else.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
So and so also when I scout, I saw
just
that
try to keep
mostly-
track in your head. I think that's better. It's a
Yeah.
better approach. Unless you're like Omega tryharding for tournament or something, or you're trying to get just everything down perfectly, and it's super important, then go for it. But if it doesn't leave you enough time, because you already talked about not having enough time to scout, right? Or
yeah, so I just
yeah, so don't worry about like tracking matchups, except for like just keep it in your head. Just find like a pattern of
yeah,
like how to keep track of a few opponents that you played.
yeah, whenever I time,
wait,
I always check
yeah.
the top thing.
That's good. That's a scary Nocturne.
Yeah.
Just ended up winning though, I think, right? Yeah, you did. Yeah, the Jace is really big here with these items.
Yeah, I just don't understand why I wanted to make Morello. Like, why I didn't think of the decap, but yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if you ended up getting another rod, so it ended up being fine. But you should definitely not prioritize Morello if
Yeah,
you're playing Riven.
I know. I don't know. I just I haven't played this comp that much. I mostly just
that's fine.
started picking up
Yeah.
last week, so
Like Morello's a fine item to make. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, looking at your other items and what your comp is leaning towards, you probably should go for it. But yeah, if you're not too experienced with the comp, you might not know that Morello's always been super core in every sword comp previously, so it makes sense that you would think about it as a slammable item. Yeah, I think you always level here, even if it would cost you money. You would level and just sell SIGs every time, which like you did.
yeah, I got Jace dropped from the creeps. That was pretty high roll.
What I actually would do here personally, because you won the last 2 rounds, I would roll Access this turn. I would probably buy Teemo here, and I would probably roll once or twice, either to find 4 Vanguard, because that's really good in this lobby, or I would try to find like a random 2 Sork or like anything that makes me stronger here. Also, putting this Syndra in the corner is really, really scary.
Yeah, I think that at this point I'm just thinking about 4-3ing, leveling and rolling. So I just want to set up.
Yeah, I think even if you're going for the 4-3 level, I like rolling Access here just to make your board stronger because you won the last 2 rounds and potentially keeping the streak alive more often. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, at least like even knowing that a lot of people like will roll to 0 here, you still like think that just roll.
No, I would just roll above 50 this round, like once or twice, see if you hit something better, and then just go for 4-3.
Okay. So it's
Like,
kind of
I'm
like
not
the
saying
same
roll
reasoning.
below. It's
as,
just what I
like,
would do personally.
Sometimes people like roll once or twice on level 6 because they're like off a couple of pairs. It's the same reasoning here. Okay.
Yep, pretty much. Well, in this case, not because you have pairs, it's because you can get a significantly stronger board with like 1 decent unit.
Yeah.
It's like adding 2 brawlers here doesn't really do much at all. 2 Vanguard's definitely better.
I guess
or even
that,
like more Storks or something.
Okay. Yeah, keeping the Jace alive with a spark definitely helps. So.
Yep. This guy hit Echo and Soraka 2. I guess he rolled to 0, so 2 Rivens. But rolling out to 0 here just doesn't make sense because okay, he's a little bit low, but you never roll to 0. If you roll to 0 on 4-1, 4-2, you don't hit, you actually just die.
Yeah.
Like, you only do it if you're really desperate, or you have like a billion pairs and you're not hitting. Naturally, you might have to if you're just bleeding out. But you're so rich here. I don't think you ever go below 20 gold.
So you would just roll to like 20. You'd like stop here, or maybe
once you hit something that's playable, like right here when you have Victor,
or like
that's where you
here.
stop.
Okay.
This is where you stop for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely stop here, and you put in 6 stores.
I guess it's just a bit of inexperience with this comp, and also.
Yeah, I mean, in general, you should not roll more here because you don't have enough money to find what you need, and you found something that's strong enough to play. That's actually a board upgrade, so that's when you just stop.
Okay. I guess I was just kind of eyeballing the Riven too much.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
were too tunneled on the Riven for sure. But something you always need to take it into account in this meta is the amount of players contesting your units. And when you were scouting, like during these rounds, you already knew one guy was going for Riven, the guy you played last turn or the turn prior, and then there was a cyber player, I think, who picked up Riven too, and I think there was another guy that had a Riven on bench already. So you should have taken note of that. You should always look for. Same goes for Jinx if you're playing those two units. They're super contested. You should really keep an eye on how many are in the pool and if it's actually worth rolling for the chance you're gonna hit it. Because if a lot of them are out the pool, your odds of hitting it is really low.
Okay.
And also here, you should probably like bait him towards another item because he's trying to block you. It's just like it doesn't really always work, but I think sometimes it works if you're going for something else, and they might try to block that instead. And then maybe you get your item. It's just a worth a chance, right? Because you don't really care for what you get here.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, it sucks that you got a bow, because bow is like the only item you could absolutely not use with this. I guess bow and sword are like the only two items you couldn't use with this glove. I guess, yeah, that's the only two items I can think of.
What you would have done once you hit the 6 orcs like this, and you saw all the Riven players, like,
I would just think of another plan. I would think of like playing for 6th with mech, or playing for like 4th with
because
like
what
Xerath carry or something.
Because what I thought was like playing the old school, like 6 orc GP with like 2 vanguards.
Yeah, that's absolutely also now, but you can't really reliably hit a gangplank, right?
That's true.
Hitting a 5 cost, like it's like playing Cybers before Vayne and saying I have to hit Echo every game on 8 and rolling on 8 for it. Like that's if you can go 9 in those games and just hit it reliably, that's an absolutely a good game plan. But you gotta make sure you can get there as well, right? Okay. And if rolling for a specific 5 cost on 8 is really risky, unless you're also rolling for other stuff and then hoping to hit it in the process. So there are like different reasons for rolling for a 5 cost. But yeah, I think the Karma was a better play here. You should also probably play Soraka over the. No, actually, never mind. I'm stupid. Yeah, forgot you. You need to actually. Soraka might be better than Poppy. In some matchup, I mean, not against the Vayne players and Jinx players, but Soraka's is a solid unit. I don't know. The heals are really nice.
Yeah, I always liked played her in like Hale when that was a thing.
It might be worth dropping down to 4 Sorks, or like play 5 Sorks and play 2 Mystic. I think that might be better. Just to get Soraka in for the heals, it's really good. I think right now, later you want to take it up, but I think it could have been stronger potentially here. Just because you don't have a Riven that you're buffing specifically, and your Victor's 1 star, Seraph is 1 star.
So, do you think like the main part about why this game ended up being like a 6th, I guess it could have been a 5th, like 1 second, but was because I rolled too much on 4-3? That was. I
think it's a big part of it, because you don't have enough money to make a pivot into something else now that you know Riven's out the pool. If you had more money, you could probably stabilize and get top 4. Something different, and it would probably be mech, so you would be trying to pick up these rumbles, look for Annies, look for Fizz, right? Or you would look for GP. You could look for, you could even try to play for Jace 3 or something. That's not really reliable either. You could play Fizz Echo. Now that you hit this Echo here, you always pick up Echo and Fizz in this comp, by the way. Because it's a really good play on 8.
Yeah, I just forgot about Fizz.
Yeah. So. A-Soul is also something you really want to play a lot of the time, except for like into Cybers, you don't want A-Soul, it doesn't do much. It's still fine, but it doesn't do too much. Vayne just kills it. It's not too much that it's affected by the mana drain, but it's really good into Sorks, it's fine into Rebels. And Brawler Blaster.
Yeah,
it's
like
good into mirror match.
Later my Seraph didn't even cast against the Rebels guy because of the mana drain.
That tends to happen. This guy's incredibly strong though. Like ASOL 2 on 8, Riven 2, Jinx 2. Riven's really good in this comp actually. That's like a placeholder. For our GP, if you don't have like GA, it's like Riven or Gnar.
Yeah.
The Riven with Rebel Spat's actually pretty strong too.
Yeah, I always prioritize
she doesn't do
Fizz
as much
with
damage.
Rebel Spat if I can.
Yeah, it's definitely Fizz, but like sometimes you don't hit Fizz, you need some frontline instead, right? And you have a Rebel Spat. Put it on Riven, it's not terrible.
Like here I'm just kind of rolling like mostly.
Yeah, this Fizz should have been picked up, the Karma should have been picked up, the Rumbles here should have been picked up. Because then you're just missing Annie for mech.
Yeah, I guess.
And a 1-star mech is probably better than this front line.
Okay. So at this point,
Not when you have Wukong 2, then this is better. I think. Then 1-star mech, but 2-star mech is better, which is GA and Spark. And you could also like even less whisper the mech or something. For the auto attack spread. And also for this fight, just because this Riven has Bramble, you should put the last whisper on something that's hitting Riven. Just for like the auto attacks killing it.
Okay.
But you still win here, so it doesn't really matter. Or do you? I can't remember. You do, right?
Yeah, I think that Syndra gets it.
Yeah, you did. Syndra ulti. It's fine. But yeah, you should probably go on Syndra or Victor. Or not Victor, Serath, just for attack speed. Faster ultis.
Yeah.
And also another thing here, you should look to move down the Ahri, like between rounds, because people are scouting at this point.
That's true.
So you always move it back, and then you move stuff back to default positions. And when you have your board like this against people like the Rebel players and the like people with Blitz and like infiltrators and stuff, you don't really want to stay on the same position. You want to move around so that they don't know where you're staying or playing at all times. So you always move around.
Okay.
Even if you go back to the same position when the round starts. I think it's not as important at this LP because not a lot of people think about this stuff, but it gets more important as you get higher up on the ladder.
It's like moving to the when I
just
play
change
Rebels, you move 3 units and then you move either right or left. Yeah.
You just keep them guessing, basically. Give yourself better odds of not getting suffered or targeted by CC. And then I told you about the frontline stuff. You should try not to get suffered, but don't grief your front line so that your back line is exposed. And here, absolutely pick the Serath. I actually didn't even see the one you had on bench. I didn't notice you buying it. I think I was probably taking notes at the time. And then never saw it. It's actually hard to see on the bench. I don't know. He's like one of those units that blends in. Another thing,
especially on this map, the one I'm.
Yep. Another unit that blends in really well is if you have a Kog'Maw 2 in play in the bottom row, and then you have Nocturne on the bench, just like next to him, but on the bench, right? They blend together so well. Like I had a Nocturne for like 6 rounds on bench yesterday, and I didn't notice it because he was sitting next to a Kog'Maw, and it looked like one unit. So I lost some econ over that, but yeah, sort of for another day. But yeah, here I think if you get Karma 2 is better than Janna 1 just because of the Seraph 2. It's more protection, immediate attack speed, and it's unlikely that this Janna ults. If you would have hit another Victor, so you could swap these this blue buff and Chalice to like the blue buff to Janna. Probably even actually Chalice Victor probably, or even Janna just for mana. You would do that. Here, let me pause real quick. I think the play is probably to go towards this side. Keep one front line here towards Gnar. Keep something in the corner. Maybe even something up here. Like maybe put Ahri here. If you're trying to play or position into this guy, which you should consider because you haven't played him for a long time. So maybe like Wukong here, or here, Ahri here, so that Gnar would target that. You maybe put Jace closer to the middle. You could do Janna in this corner, and then Serath and you would want Serath next to it, and then Victor here for buff, probably Syndra next to it, and to put everything else towards this side. So the Gnar would focus all of this, and keep this safe and away from Aesol Drain. And also Blitzcrank is not hooking Janna.
Isn't it completely random who Aesol targets?
Yeah, but if you're further away, it's less likely it's going to hit it, right? Okay. The ult is not going to go all the way, miss all these units, and then go into this.
Okay.
More often than hitting this, right? Because it's working up this way. I guess he had 2. Did he have 2 Aesols? He did. Okay, I don't know the pattern of this guy, but wait, let's look at it. Okay, so this second one might hit you, but I think it's more like, I'm not sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure it's more likely to hit the units that are closer because the ultis are going to get toward or to them quicker. Skip through that because I should also see. But yeah, you need to think about your positioning of Seraph here, keep him as safe as possible. In this case, you're not protecting him at this side at all.
So it kind of goes through what I asked about in the beginning, like here. The importance of finding an out, so to speak, as opposed to scouting and positioning. The importance of. So
you should when you can't play Riven because it's too contested, you should think about the out already and have that in mind. Like, what are my possible outs? Okay, good. I have that written down. At this point, you have mech in shop as well, which is pretty big. But it's not going to be big, super big here. If you had a good defensive, like this Titan's resolve, not on Seraph, instead you would have it on the the Jace. You could have just swapped in mech here, and it would be a lot stronger. But it was stuck on Serath, so definitely not swapping it out. But you could have just like even then sold the front lane you had to play mech, and I think it's probably stronger. But at that point, it's like it doesn't really matter. If you actually had a better fight against the rebel guy, which I think you'd get if you change your positioning, we can actually go back to
Would have been a
that
fifth.
part. Yeah, no, you would have survived. Yeah, it would have been a fifth. 'Cause I think you survived the last round because you would take. Was it 9? No, you took 11 damage off that guy, I think, in the end.
Probably would have been a fifth at best, either way.
Yeah. 3 units, yeah, you're taking 11 here.
Do we have
so
enough
if
time
you-
for one more game? Like, if we don't do the super...
Yeah, we do. If we go cube after the stream, I'm too lazy.
Yeah, they say, like... Okay, so I'm trying to get that jargon. But they say, like,
Yep.
the best way to grow a Twitch channel is to grow a YouTube.
Absolutely. Or get rank 1, and that helps a fuck ton.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Holy shit.
Yeah, like Pulp.
I have a VOD that says rank 1. Yeah. Like, but I mean, he already had a big stream from StarCraft, so, and he was a really good StarCraft pro. So like, you get more interested in watching that guy, right? And he's also really humble. He had an interesting play style.
Yeah.
He's just a really nice guy in general. He has a welcome team Pulp thing, which is kind of funny. I don't know. He's a great streamer as well. Like, so like, he just goes hand in hand. He already had the back, like the following, the background, the like. Then he was a known person, and that just goes hand in hand with growing fast, especially after hitting rank 1 in another game. Yeah, I could see that in my own stuff. Like, I have an old Twitch VOD from like 2 weeks ago or something, when I hit rank 1 on stream, and that VOD has like 20 times the views of every other VOD. So it's like just small stuff like that you could just easily spot. So because I'm not making YouTube stuff, obviously, and that would probably help a lot in getting viewers.
Yeah.
I really like this.
Okay,
so
so
far.
I really want this.
Yeah,
I want the Malphite to go with it.
Yep.
And I want the Grave. So if I don't get gold, I'm selling these 3 to buy these 3.
Absolutely, I think that's fine. I also think it's fine to potentially just play double Vanguard pair here. I'm personally biased towards Rebel, so I'll always take the Rebel route here because I'm more comfortable with it, and I think it's a stronger approach to my. Yeah, so I would personally always go for the 6 Malphite.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would sell that. I'll sell that. Just get all this stuff. Actually, Poppy over Graves. So.
Oh.
Because then you have the Vanguard pairs, 2 of them, and Graves doesn't help you until you have like a Kog'Maw with items. Because Kog'Maw is not even something you play. Pick up 6, by the way, before you roll. Kog'Maw is not even good without, like, if you don't have items for him.
Okay.
Yeah, so you end up hitting Cybers here, so keeping that Leona would have been good.
Well,
yeah, you take the Lawi for now. I would just play Lawi here. It's fine.
Because I have like with the Nocturne, so okay, so I think I should always sell.
So, no, don't sell yet. Don't sell yet. You're selling too early here. So what's your plan? What?
Okay, I want these 2 for sure.
Okay, so if you want those 2, in that case, okay, you definitely want this Lucian. You would just sell Poppy here.
Okay.
So you're probably not gonna what should I call it? Play the Vanguards right now because you don't have the Leona pair anymore. Now this is probably still your strongest board until you have 2-star Cybers. I think in this case you want to hold the Sigs. I would personally slam an item here. I think the only slammable item is Deathblade.
Deathblade, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think
and I would just Deathblade Sigs and then
okay, I can see that.
Move it over. Yeah, because okay, so when you have 2 swords, it's always Deathblade if you're trying to play an AD comp. Infinity Edge is only good on Vayne, and I think Deathblade is arguably better.
Yeah.
I think it's matchup dependent, and it also doesn't require Last Whisper as heavily. You still want Last Whisper, obviously. Last Whisper, Deathblade, and then probably IE in the end, but just getting the Deathblade now is really good because then you also have the glove for Last Whisper later.
Yeah, I would sell this for Poppy.
Sell something for Caitlyn. Nocturne, probably. Yeah. You're pretty committed to the Cyber out here. And you really want Caitlyn for your Vayne. Yeah, Poppy, Caitlyn, Graves.
Got another Leona.
Another Malphite, another Leona. Okay. Alright, so here's the decision you have to make.
I would probably go with let me see here.
Yeah, but you want to play this Poppy, right? Poppy Leona. It's going to be better than these Brawlers because it's 2-star. Okay. So you can just sell a Lawi here if you want to pick up the Leona. And I would take the Malphite as well.
That makes sense, okay.
So like the Illaoi is pretty replaceable by any other brawler because you don't have Kog'Maw in this case, and you're trying to play the Lucian. Oh yeah, you could have done this as well earlier. I don't think leveling here is right because of the Galaxy. You don't have that much money, and you want to keep all these units. So you want this Graves to go with it. You sell the Sigs here. I would still keep Malphite because you can still like go into Jinx from this route. You don't need the Sigs as much as Malphite because you don't have like a Ludens or something to hold.
Yeah, I think that
Stuff Blade's paying off big time.
Sometimes I don't even run Sigs in my like 6 round.
Oh, you should definitely do that. He helps so much with resets. He's actually so good. Like he's way better than Yasuo or E. He's just a unit.
Okay, so now
time to sell that 6.
I don't think 6 cybers is the best. I think this is probably this.
Yeah, this is better because you don't have items for the other cybers.
Probably sell. I want these.
So okay, here's an interesting thing because you don't want to sell these Caitlyn's. You definitely don't sell these Caitlyn's, and because of that reason, I think if you win here, you pre-level, and you just buy the Rumble. If you lose, then you can consider selling Caitlyn, but I probably wouldn't do it. But if you lose here, I would sell. But if you win, then I would keep it. I think you sell here.
Sell these.
Yeah, you would sell that. You're committed to cybers. But it's a tough choice though, because like Caitlyn is such a good unit.
Yeah,
but you're not gonna play her until you have Vayne or level 6. So you can afford selling it. But Caitlyn 2 is just really good.
Looking for a bow here. Oh, that's.
Yep. Oh no, you take Vayne, glove Vayne. So yeah, now you'd want that Caitlyn back, but it's still fine. Still fine.
You can't. That's like an important thing. You can't like analyze your games based on.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. You still like take the route that you decided on, and you as long as it's good, don't like beat yourself up about it if it plays out a different way.
Same thing in poker. You can't be. I don't know what the term is. I don't remember what the term, but it's basically you can't like analyze whether a play was good or bad based on the outcome. You gotta run the simulation 100 times.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you play off your best odds. Wait, before you do anything here, would you ever level? Right. So leveling here gives you, what should I call it?
Better shops. Yeah, I know.
No, not better shops. It gives you better shops and it gives you cybers in play, which is a significant upgrade. It will lose you gold though. And for that reason, I don't think you level because you can make 10 after this. I think you just pick up the shop and roll.
Yeah, I think
that. And then you just
I would not have like my intent. I don't think I would have leveled unless I could get snipers in.
Yep. I mean, getting the cyber in is just pretty big because you would just play the Vayne, right? You wouldn't sell it. Probably Mordekaiser pair over Ezreal. You have a Graves 2 already. I would also buy another Leona in case you ever replace it for some reason.
Probably didn't.
Is he 4 Vanguard already? 4 Vanguard Cassio at 2-5?
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah. Sucks you're not gonna have a perfect streak here, but so that 2-2-1.
Leona 3.
I mean, sure.
What is Vi?
Yeah, you sell the Mordekaisers and the other stuff. You need to make money here, though.
Yeah, it's my.
Yeah, you just gotta sell Leona.
16, and then
you either sell Leona or you take out Graves here and you put in Cybers. I would sell Graves actually, because then you can play 3 Cybers, and you have the Vayne already, so you would swap items to Vayne as soon as you can, anyways.
This and sell the Lucian because he's probably gonna.
But if you sell the Lucian, you don't have him for 6 Cyber before you have Echo, right?
Yeah, but I can probably find him later, and I don't really want to sell the Fiora in this spot.
I think you definitely sell Fiora.
Okay.
Because it's Fiora 1 versus Lucian pair. If you get Lucian 2, you would still play over Vayne here, because you still don't have a sniper.
All right.
Man, that's a Worm or Bramble Sin. It's kind of strong. It's like the Fiora's fine to keep, but it's Fiora 1 that you don't have an item for. Keep the Lucians right now. You can just play the Vayne as your 3rd Cyber. Oh shit, it was Leona 3, bro.
So would you?
I would level here either way. I always level here because of this Galaxy. You have to level here. Just buy these. The Vayne shops. You get see Vayne. Just play Vayne with item. Move up Leona.
And then this is getting sold.
Yeah, always sell the poppy. And then, oh, you should wait for gold. It's reroll. Leona 3.
Yeah.
If you hit it for free, like when you were rolling for other stuff and it never costs you eco to hold it, I think it's actually fine. But it's not, you sell the second it costs you any eco. Cloak's good. Because you don't actually want amazing items here, because then you would like a bow, and then you wouldn't want more swords and stuff, because then you don't have items for your cybers. It's actually kind of nice low rolling items in the beginning, and like except for your last whisper and stuff. If you're back, nice.
Okay.
Okay, at this point,
I would never slam.
you need to make money here.
I think.
So how do you make money the best way? You don't want to sell Vi. Vi's too good.
It's these two then.
I think you're selling the Lucian in play. You're just adding Vi, and you're just putting Deathblade on.
Doing this. Okay.
Yeah. You just move Vayne down probably. She has Tumble. She's super safe. Just put the Deathblade on Vayne, and then put Vest on Vi and Cloak on Leona.
Okay, I would.
And the reason you do that is Cloak or the Vest doesn't have a lot of uses unless it's red buff right now. You're probably gonna end up making a Frozen Heart out of this thing, and Cloak. If like Frozen Heart goes better on Vi than it does on anything else, and Spark is fine on Leona because she's really tanky. And
I would make Thieves as well, probably.
yeah, I mean, Thieves is fine, yeah, but you would like that on Aurelia over Vi if you can have Frozen Heart on.
I would just Thieves close the Poppy.
Yeah, you can do that for sure. Level though, here 32 before you roll. Caitlyn, Vayne 2, easy clap.
Okay. Do this. Let me just pick this up for now.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, you would sell for 20 here every time. Move Caitlyn into the corner.
Like this.
And then something else in the left corner is fine. So if you want to.
Okay, I would sell this and then sell whichever one of these to make 20.
Sure. At this point, keeping the Fiora higher level, it's less likely you find a Lucian. So I agree with keeping Fiora here. Previous rounds, no, because you're still re-rolling because of the Galaxy at a lower level. So you're super likely to hit Fiora again. Yeah, your Vayne's super strong. All you need is a bow, and you're chilling. You can just fast 9 from here, probably.
So already, like, from here you can see...
Yeah, you just fast 9 here. Okay. You have Vayne 2 with good items. You have a Thieves' Gloves for your future Aurelia. You have upgraded frontline. You have Vi. You have 5 Cybers already. You're hard chilling. Vayne 3 game? Probably not. Just make as much money as you can.
Interesting.
Sure. I like this. Going for Vayne 3 with this amount of gold is really greedy. Or not greedy, really stupid.
Yeah, I usually go for like 3-star stuff when I play.
I think I saw Blitz or 2 in the left corner, so you probably want to fodder your Vi into the corner instead of the Caitlyn.
You really care about a Caitlyn?
And just put, and just put Caitlyn in the other corner, because that way you give her more damage for someone stacking left side. It's also the fact that if they're hooking your Vi, that Vi is 1, it's going to ulti back towards your Vayne. 2, it's not going to get killed instantly and give a potential reset to something, like a Jinx or a Darius or whatever. And also spreading your snipers is generally pretty good. Oh, that cog is pretty strong. Triple item cog 2. A 3-3 with 4 battle casts is pretty good. It's all fast 9 though. As long as you get a bow. If you don't get a bow, it'll be kind of hard, but... Oh no. Oh, okay, there's a bow. Nice. Yeah, you take bow every time.
It even though it's 1
It's always bow here. It's too important.
If I had bow, I would probably go for a spat, just because infill. Spat Aurelia. Let's see. He's playing, probably going to end up with Cybers, Vanguard, Mystic, Rebels, Shredder, I guess. Either Jinx or Battlecast.
Yeah.
Is he also Shredder? Mech.
Wait, you go back. I don't think... Was he Shredder, actually?
This guy?
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah.
This guy is
definitely Wait, there's 2 Shredder players? What the hell?
Yes.
Fiora. Vayne, Lucian, roll.
Okay.
Definitely sell those rebels. Keep the others for now, because you don't make 40. You do, but you want to keep Fiora. Because Fiora 2 is actually big. this stage. Lucian 2 doesn't really matter, but yeah, you don't
So
want to.
you would position more like
I would do
this?
this, yeah, and then I would put something in the middle of the map. So I put Leona in the middle.
Just scooch these over like that.
No, I would still spread them a little bit. So like keep maybe Graves to the right side, and then maybe even move Poppy. It's like keep Graves there, and then maybe move Poppy one left of Leona, or keep her where she is. Probably move her one left of Leona. Because if you stack up your front line too much, they might either bypass your like front line from one side, or you just get grouped up into an ulti like this, for example.
Okay.
So like if you know you're playing this guy, you would spread them out even more and like make the mech hit only one unit, so it doesn't kill your entire team instantly.
Okay.
There's also merit into picking up this Shen or Blitzcrank here. I think both are fine. Yeah, maybe it's not a fast now. You're actually pretty low. This lobby's pretty strong. You would think the Vayne 2 would be enough here.
It's always
So if you look at the Graves items here, you just put it next to Vayne.
like this.
Yep, and then move Poppy one right or one left. Sorry, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's make gold. So you were about to say something? I interrupted you.
Yeah, like I don't know, on trade sector you always think you're so damn strong, but then it's trade sector, so you're not actually strong.
True.
So.
True. Yeah, now that you've played the Blitzcrank people, you probably want to move the Caitlyn back into corner and move Vi up. Now that you move Graves down, like put her maybe top left.
Okay.
You're probably starting out to beat this guy either way, especially with Graves Shroud. Really? Nice. That's your 6 cybers. No, don't make it. Don't make it.
Okay.
Sell the brawlers.
Probably.
So yeah, if you want to, you can keep the veins. I would probably just sell for money if you don't get gold here.
Thing is,
I think
uncontested
you can go
cybers.
for vein 3. Yeah, so you can definitely go for it if you want to, but
I don't think. I think
you're
if I
kind of
were-
low and
Yeah, I would if I was higher health, but
yeah, same.
too low. It's a Nico.
Okay, actually buy it. Screw the Lucian. Because that Nico actually gives you potential vein 3 really early. You should have definitely leveled first here.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
Okay.
Take it, yeah, you take it for sure. I can move up the Graves again, no more Seeks.
And probably level for would like
Level for Chrono if you have a Chrono.
I have both of these.
You have Graves, yeah. You had Shen though.
Yeah.
I think. You sell Soraka and Ezreal.
I feel like Blaster is just a scam if you don't have Jinx in.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Also, there's merit into selling the Graves and playing the second Vayne here. Just because you have Sniper on it, you have no items, but it's a Sniper.
Okay.
Or even playing Aurelia and putting Thieves on Aurelia. I think putting Thieves on Aurelia and play here over Graves is probably better.
Okay. Is there any merit to rolling at 7 to go for Vayne 3 here?
Because you have 6 of them. If you had another one next shop, then yes.
Okay.
Or in your next 2 shops, then yes. Otherwise, no. But you probably want to roll a little bit here. Lucian and Wukong, nice.
Definitely
Aurelia. Yeah. Riven, you can buy. I definitely sell this Graves though. Put in Aurelia, give her Thieves.
Okay, and just keep rolling.
Fiora. That's fine, don't roll anymore. You're strong enough. You play the Wukong over the Shen.
That's true. Should ever
Probably move
this?
him to the left. Sure. But you should have played Aurelia over Vi, because Thieves.
Yeah, that's true.
Sell the double Riven, it's expensive, and sell a Lucian. Need the money. Or you will not last for a long time here. So you're not uncontested this one guy, but he doesn't have any veins.
Yeah. I'm probably part of the reason why.
Yep. Alright, that Wukong MVP. Tumble also MVP. Yeah, you put this Aurelia in play, it's probably better. And then Falder one of the 1-cost Vanguards.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah, frontline that Aurelia with the thing. Yeah, just sell the stuff you just bought.
I guess we pick her up if you lose. Or I would sell this guy.
I would consider just putting in like cutting for Vanguard and playing Vayne and Fiora or Vayne and Vi, probably, or one of the two, just to make money 100% of the time.
Okay.
But you don't want to sell the Wukong because you lose Chrono. But I think just playing the Vi is probably better into a lot of players here. Kill Victor? Unlucky. Alright.
So you wouldn't sell Lucian?
Sure. It's just you lose the 6 cybers on 8 if you don't hit him again. And or hit Echo. And you need to level on 4-6 maybe even next turn. Just to play units.
Take IE here every
yeah,
time.
it's IE. So, unless there's an Echo and there's not, take IE. Take Acel, yep. So block the Acel from someone. That's really good. Okay, scout the lobby now that you have time. Make sure you get your positioning right and see if you have to level. Look who you just played. And see what is good. It's like I don't think 4 Vanguard's good into everyone here. It's good into like a couple people, but
it's bad against him. Bad against him. Bad. I guess it's decent against him. And most people have okay, almost everyone.
They have less whispers as well. So
trash.
you probably just it's not great. Better off just playing cybers with items.
It's only 1 Blitzcrank. Wait, no, it's 2.
So before you roll here, I think you should heavily consider leveling because your HP is really low. I think it's okay. So if you level, you're gonna be a little bit broke, so you can't roll. You would just level to level, but otherwise you're greeting 1 round and leveling next turn. If you do it later than that, you're gonna take too much damage here.
Okay.
Definitely sell Acel though. But
okay,
I think it's fine greeting 1 round at least. But you buy Thresh 100% of the time. Like this. Play Vi over the Jace as well.
Do...
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. IE on the Vayne. Actually, maybe it was Thresh over it. Yeah, it was actually Thresh for Mana Reaver. Selfish. Oh, close. Good loss, though. Really good loss. Yeah, you have to level here. If you take a big chunk, you're dead. So, level. Do the natural roll. Wukong.
I don't really... When I have Last Whisper, I don't see Janna as being that high priority.
Vi 2. Frontline the Vi. Play Thresh. Backline one of the Vanguards, probably Poppy. You could just sell Poppy. Actually, keep her. But put him bottom left corner. Yeah, actually Blitz. Yeah, Blitz. Absolutely, yeah. Sell stuff if you can. You can sell Poppy, you can sell Victor, you can sell Fizz.
I think this is fine. I don't know. I guess it's... At this
this is fine. This is really good.
guess
I didn't see the 4 Chronos. This is fine. I like this. Nice. Winning this one's huge. Because you save a lot of HP. The difference between potentially being sub 30 here and being above 30 is like 3 lives instead of 2 or 1. Yeah, keep the Acel of this roll here. Yep, Selfish. Keep that for now.
You'd play a random Acel if you don't hit
during the round, I think you take out Blitz and you put in Fiora.
Yeah,
so you can potentially make 20 here. Yeah. If you want, you can make 20. I think you should make the 20, but the Acel is really good, especially now that you have this Thresh him for now. It's really good to have it on bench. Because it just gets into play instantly and like mana drain stuff. Right?
So you'd sell Blitz.
Blitz. Yeah, I would sell Blitz.
Okay.
It's gonna be red buff Echo. Wait, is it red buff Echo?
I need items on all my cybers first.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I would roll.
Okay, you're just rolling for Relia and Vayne and Echo, right? Lucian you pick up as well because you have 6 cyber.
Okay.
If you have Fiora already. Vayne.
Vayne. 3, Nico.
Don't make it yet. Roll first. Roll first. Sell Victor. You can also sell Vi. Wukong and then make Vayne. Good. You never Nico before you rolled.
Okay.
Sell the Rumble.
Suffer and
Suffer's fine. Yeah. Just put items.
This will just go on Echo, I guess.
No, you take Carousel item off or for Echo. Just hold that for potential fawn off of like you don't want to put stuff on echo. That doesn't do anything in case you go super late game and you get the because this game people are pretty healthy. You're gonna go late. You're gonna get items from carousels and stuff. Green's bet I think it's better.
Okay.
Echo, nice. Okay.
You want to do it now though?
No, I don't think I would. Definitely spin the roll though.
It's definitely this. Solution doesn't
Yeah, I would sell the one costs and the Soraka. And now it's one of these two. I think you want Thresh on level because you have Caitlyn ones. You can play better sniper.
Sell this then.
So sell Aesol then. Yeah. Okay. So something that's really important here is you have to spread your units more, so that you can freely move your Vayne to the other side if you can to dodge stuff, and you want to make sure the Zephyr hits stuff.
Okay.
So now it's just positioning, and you're going 9. And if you were healthy this game, it's the fastest 9 ever. Like if people weren't so strong, stage 3. So this guy's 6 Vanguard, right? Novelist 3. Oh. This is gonna be a tough one. You need Janna for this guy. But you already played him now, so you're chilling for a while. But that's the biggest hit you're gonna take this stage, I think. By far. So you're still 2 lives. Don't stress it too much if you go low. You're still really strong here.
Would you just keep rolling here? I would not.
I would wait until camp. No, I would just sell the stuff that's not Thresh Aurelia. And
probably sell
now
this
you
to make
scout.
money.
Hold it for now. You scout. Make sure you position well.
Okay, I want to swap.
If no one's hooking left side, you just put Vayne in that corner, and then you put something above her. It's like you put frontline, like Wukong, to the left side, and put Vayne to the corner.
This, what I want to do.
Sure. But in this case, you also need something bottom right. So you would put like the Aurelia down there.
Okay.
In case they like have the hook right here, or like a couple tiles to the left, you would hook the Vayne.
Okay. Yeah, but I saw the Blitzcrank was
yep.
here, so.
Yeah, but like they could still move it, right?
Yeah,
so you should.
I would sell this.
Yep, sure. So like even if you move to the opposite side, they might be scouting you and doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you need to take that into account.
Might be like the weird new like Jarvan thing. I would take this as my #1 priority for Aurelia.
You don't have you have thieves on Aurelia already. You take something for Echo here. Best item is Giant Slayer. No, Giant Slayer's better.
Okay.
So you're like you don't have magic damage. It's like only Echo's ulti, but he auto attacks with the ulti, so the Giant Slayer is more value. I think personally, like it could be wrong, but since your team is like all Vayne, you don't really need Spark.
How much would you value the Locket? Like I've never seen Locket like be high priority at all this set, but like set 2 it was like something everybody slammed at like the early stages.
I mean it's because of like stuff like the Berserker comps, right? It was just really good. And you just fit better into comps. Vest wasn't as a high priority and I mean Vest was a really high priority later, but and later in the set, but not that early. Yeah, so just put your Aurelia bottom right.
I want to set for like here.
Just make sure you move back Aurelia bottom right.
Okay.
Or Fiora if you want her to, like, because she has decent items here.
But I want my like I want her to set for this spot.
Sure. Okay. So what you should think about here is Vayne does a lot less damage if she's in the middle like this. You want her towards a corner. And then also you need something in the middle of your front line because now you have a big gap. Everything's gonna lean towards the side, and leaves stuff potentially vulnerable.
Okay.
And the Ivor's gonna be kind of weird, but you can pick up Vi if you want to ever want to move the item you have on her for whatever reason. Could be like a Bramble if you remake, right?
True.
And put it on something. The second it costs you money, you just sell it. Okay, now you frontline the Aurelia now with these items, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, just use Fiora as bottom corner fodder. Like, just put her bottom right. Just keep her there. And just move Aurelia. Yeah, and if someone's Zephyr hooking you, just move around like this. Just make sure you don't get hooked. That's all you gotta do with the thing. And put her like away from stuff as much as possible so you get more damage out of Sniper. like here, for example, when you do this, you probably want to move her into the bottom right side. And if you're moving down your top right fodder, you want something, like you want to move another unit there.
You want
so like
Vayne
Vi, for
here?
example.
Like
Yeah, I think I want Vayne there, and I want something else in the top right, like Wukong or
and then
Vi. So you don't have 3 units on the same hex, and you actually
I'm
protect.
almost like splitting.
Right.
I have like 2 frontline, 2 backline, 2 frontline, 2 backlines.
Yeah, basically, like a little bit towards that approach, unless like when you're playing a lot of people like this.
Okay.
If there's 1 or 2 people, it's different, but.
Yeah, like I definitely do like what you talked about earlier, like moving your units. I definitely do it more when I have Zephyr. Like.
Yep. It's really smart. Never keep it on the same hex. This guy's going for Jinx 3. He's gonna roll down after Kayn. So if you find natural Jinx here, you hold it.
Okay.
During the round, even after, I think. Deathblade Echo, it's pretty good.
Would you make Ash 2 and play it over 2 Chrono?
If you got Thresh, yes. So keep the Ash. Oh yeah, you just make it here.
Okay.
It's just better. You just play it over Vayne. Just got another Chrono because you're leveling after this.
Okay.
It's actually
But like, say
big.
for
If you
example,
low roll gold here, you don't get.
Say for example, if we didn't level, or if we weren't leveling, like, would you play it over the?
Yes. He's a 2-star. I would. A 1-star, no.
Okay.
Fuck, you low roll golds. You can't level here. Unless you sell Echo next turn, I think. But you don't want to sell Echo pair.
No, for sure not. Yeah, we
Take the second buy and the fist. No.
Nothing too much.
So leveling is 50 gold. Next turn is going to be 48, which is a good interval, so you probably just wait. You're 1 gold. Wait, actually, no, you don't. You can't buy a unit to play. It sucks. Scout. Avoid that fist landing on you, by the way. It's got Swordbreaker.
Yeah, I just,
Yeah.
Didn't on time. Nice. Switched.
Don't worry too much about the Casio in this case. I think knocking up something like this Jace that has a lot of dodge has a lot more merit. Because Vayne gets stuck on it.
Okay.
And this is the one fight you can actually die from 22. You're probably going to. If you don't kill stuff here soon. Yeah, you're probably dead here. Run.
Guess I didn't. Oh, I should have.
Yeah.
Exact lethal.
So, this is the matchup you never win without Janna. When they have 6 Vanguard and upgraded stuff. You also got stuck on a dodged, or like a Jace with a lot of dodge. This game is generally not going to be a 6th.
Yeah, it's not every day you see Vayne 3 6th.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the Vayne 3 so much as it is not being 9 at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, your eco management was fine here. Like, the reason you bottom forward in the end, I think, is a couple of rounds of positioning where probably cost you lost fights a little bit too heavy. And some rounds during stage 3 where you could have played different board. I think you could have had Aurelian or Valiant over something. It's a little bit different. But it's
Graves too much.
Yeah, I think you valued Graves too much for a long time. I'm not sure even taking the Vaynes was correct, but like it's fine because of the Nico and the 6 Vaynes on
6 Vaynes
Wolves.
on Wolves with a Nico.
And Nico, yeah, it feels bad not taking it. Not having a K2 was actually pretty big. K2 would have killed a lot of units during the game and probably saved you a lot of HP. But yeah, dying from 22 here, you only die in 1 round to that guy specifically. No one else. You should have also played the Ashe over the Caitlyn at the end. I forgot to say that. Because you made it to play it, right? Otherwise, you'd never make it. Well, the only reason you make it is because you have the Caitlyn 1. If you had K2, you would just ignore it because you don't have a chrono that you're putting in already.
Mm-hmm.
So if you still had that Thresh, then you would just take it anyways, but because you're cutting Caitlyn for a better sniper. But Caitlyn 2 is actually really big in this comp because it kills a lot of units throughout the entire game.
Yeah,
and it will
especially
kill
during
you
the mid
on HP. Yeah, and also Caitlyn into that Vanguard guy, if she ultis and hits a Vanguard and kills it, it's really big. Like, she can get a weaker Vanguard, right? It's not a 3-star, doesn't have items. And that's just damage reduction.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happened twice during, like, 2 times you took a lot of damage to that guy, it's 4 HP saved. And if you're 26, you died to, we killed 1 unit, maybe 2. So that's 6 plus 10 off stage, that's 22, you would have lived. if you saved 2 HP throughout the game, you would have lived that fight, and then you're probably top 4.
Yeah. A bit unlucky.
So
but...
small stuff like that, yeah, absolutely. But like small stuff like that is what adds up to like a 6th instead of a top 4 in this case.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's like the difference between like climbing and staying.
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely. Well, like, this is the kind of stuff you have to like look at and work on. And I think in this game and the previous one specifically, these are like the small kind of decisions that you didn't make that someone better would make, but you're like on a good track to get there, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So like if you improve on those small points, so like basically min-maxing your rounds and being the strongest you can, but I think like unit-wise, you're pretty much there. Item-wise as well. Maybe like the Morello, for example, but that's experience, and like maybe here you would have timed the IE, but then you wouldn't have been closer to Last Whisper, for example, and that probably would have cost you even more HP this game. So small stuff like that adds up a lot, and if you like improve on those points, you'll probably see a lot more consistency. And then also you probably need to just play more.
Yeah, for sure.
As well. And
I see some people have like
come with
300 plus games. I don't even have 100, so.
There are people with like 600-700 in Challenger.
Yeah.
Some people play a lot of this game. Like I feel like I play all day, and I have like 250 games on my main, and like 100 or 80 or 60 or something on my Smurf. And I feel like I play a lot, and then I see someone with like 600. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Do you even have time for that? Because I'm like playing 6-7 hours a day at least, on average.
So need to work on like min-maxing boards. Just trying to be as strong as possible, and as well as positioning. Was the
I think the scouting part is fine. You should just apply positioning to your scouting, like because you're scouting for a lot of things, but I think you're looking at maybe the wrong things when you're scouting. Like for the Zephyr, for example, you were looking a lot at Zephyring like the Casio, which would be good. But if Vayne isn't stuck on a front line, it is. But you're not beating that comp anyways without Janna.
Okay.
So your goal should be to kill units. Okay. And to kill units, you need to get rid of the biggest front line you can, for example.
But generally, like since there were 6 other players in, or at least like 5, I look at like on average where the best, because I don't know I'm going to play that guy necessarily. For sure. But in this case, when you have this strong of a Vayne, just bypassing the first front line to get some Deathblade stacks and get rolling really fast is huge. Okay.
I think. So like if you can suffer a Gnar, if you can suffer that Nautilus, you can catch a Riven, you're gonna kill stuff a lot faster and save a lot of like time in the fight and HP. I just kill more units to get the Deathblade rolling.
So you would almost like if you have like Deathblade on like a Jinx, like if you in general have like a Deathblade unit on a carry, you would prioritize suffering like
not necessarily, just in this spot specifically.
Okay.
So like for Jinx, for example, if you just buy time for her to get the stack, it's kind of different, or get the reset. Once she gets the reset, you already have 2 stacks, right? And then she just keeps going ham, right?
Okay.
So getting to that stack is important. So like if you're taking away CC, an infiltrator that jumps you, you're there. Like if you're ciphering a Jinx versus Rebels, that's huge. Like that's always the priority, unless they have like a GP that you can cipher. Then that's also pretty big because you can position around Gnar, for example.
Okay.
But a GP, if he gets an ulti off and stuns your entire team, then Jinx just gets free resets and kills you. So like, or you don't want like a fist to jump on your Vayne, for example, and stuff like that.
I think
she's really safe into like every other infiltrator though. So like, if there was an Echo jumping your Vayne, unless it had Frozen Heart, just let it jump and Vayne just kills it. So yeah. So you don't really need to worry about infiltrators too much when you're playing Vayne. Mainly just CC. But yeah, I think like a couple of different things during that game, like min-maxing during rounds, you probably get top 4. It gets kind of rough when you're up against that guy though. 6 Vanguard with everything upgraded. I mean, it's so big, you can't get through it without Janna. If you have Janna though, you one-shot that guy.
Yeah, I've never seen 6 Vanguards in any of my other games, so I don't know.
It's pretty popular right now because it's really good into Cybers. It's like the best matchup up against Cyber, but it loses to Sork. So
yeah, I mean, there's like only one Sork.
Yeah. Like if they put in 4 Mystic, it's fine into Sork, but yeah, when in lobbies like this, when there's one Sork guy and like 2 people rerolling Saya and like the rest are Cyber Rebel or Battlecast, I guess. 6 Vanguard's pretty good. And a lot of people play it currently. So late game like this, if you see someone playing 6 Vanguard, small tip, just keep Janna on bench and put it in when you think you're about to play him.
Okay.
In this case, you would play it on 9, because you can't really cut anything on 8. You wouldn't cut Wukong 2, for example, it's too big. Unless you're 100% sure you're playing that guy.
Thank you so much for watching the video. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said earlier, Fluffy's Twitch and Twitter will be linked down in the description, so definitely go check him out. But if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. It is filled with hundreds of other players who are hungry to climb. And if you want to get coached by me, the information is over in the Discord as well. So take care, and see you in the next video.